Farming families have come from all over the world and set down roots in the San Joaquin Valley. They have all found a vast landscape that is at once bountiful and unforgiving. The key to unlocking that difference is water. As drought, climate change, and now groundwater restrictions crimp access to water, things are changing. What will that mean for the future of the valley? Can small farmers still make a living? We talk to family farmers who are determined to try.
I can't foretell the future, but I'm going to just tread water the way it is. It's okay.
They explain how they and their families came to the valley, what they've made here, what the future holds, and the role of water through it all.
My family was from occupied Armenia. My father was a survivor of the Armenian genocide. My father was 9 years old at the time. They marched him overnight. The next day, they shot his older brother and father. They killed him. 1920, when the English came and took the Armenians out of the desert, brought them back to Istanbul, to Constantinople, his sister had arrived here as a bride before that. She had arrived in Fresno, California. They contacted one another. So in 1921, she brought my older uncle who got married and had 2 children, and my dad, who at the time now was 16. They put my father in the 3rd grade. He couldn't speak any English, and kids were making fun of him, so he quit. He got out of school and went to work on farms and stuff. In 1927, he bought a ranch, brought his brother's family, lived with him because my father wasn't married. My mother was firstborn here, firstborn in Fresno. In 1934, I think it was, my father and her got married and they established their family. He died young. He died at age 49, but he used to always say, I had 35 free years in America that I shouldn't have had. And he was very grateful. These vineyards, these rows are planted 12 feet apart, and the vines are 6 feet apart in the row. These are natural Thompsons. You can see the grapes here. Actually, we're in an irrigation district called Consolidated Irrigation District. I also have 2 wells on this farm. In the previous 3-4 years, we were in a drought condition. We had no surface water at all. I lost 1 well, went completely dry, so I had to drill another new well. But this year, because of excessive snowfall, we've had good surface water. I didn't have to pump or open the pump up at all. The underground aquifer has gone down quite a bit because so much is in production. Basically, like they have so much almonds, they took most of the vines out, went into almonds or citrus or different stuff. Now we have a program where you have to put so much water back down into the ground. At one time, on the next piece that I'm going to go, we had a 2-acre pond in that place. In the late 30s and the early 40s, the water level was so high that some vineyards and orchards actually died. It was up close to the top. We're going to need a couple of more years, I think, of if we can have it like this year. They're predicting another wet year this coming year. We'll see. I was still a senior in high school when my father passed away. So I had my mother and my young sister. She was 12 years old. Our only living was this farm. I stayed into farming. I did side work. I'm a musician. I played music, traditional music. I met my wife. We got married. We stayed here, and then I had an opportunity with my music. I was hired in a Las Vegas show. By that time, we had 3 young kids. We moved, the whole family, we moved to Las Vegas and lived there for 2 years. We came back. I worked on the Sunset Strip. I worked in many nightclubs. And soon thereafter, we opened a business in Visalia, a deli and a restaurant. And we did that for 36 years. And we retired in 2005. And I decided to retire back on the farm because I wanted to keep myself busy. I didn't just sit down. So we rebuilt this home. In December of 2000, we moved back to the farm and closed our business and retired. Okay, this is one of the wells. This is the well for this 20. This is the well. It's 176 feet deep. The water level is about 90 feet here. This house was built around 1880. My family lived there for quite a while. This is the new well that I dug. The old one used to be between the post and that standpipe. We had to cover it by law, fill it in. You couldn't do anything. It was an old well. It was only 88 feet deep. And the water level went down and then it collapsed. So I actually own a high-rise building. I put a well here 320 feet deep. 4 or 5 years ago, I had to borrow water from my neighbor or pump from that pump, which took a long time. So I finally, I was hoping that the water level would come up, but when it collapsed, there was no hope. I had to put a new well. We have 3 sons. We lost our oldest son to kidney failure. They'll probably take over, but I don't think they'll farm it. I think maybe they'll do something else with it. They're younger. I don't make a whole lot of money from farming, but I'm not losing either. They'll inherit it. It's in a trust, and they can do what they want. If they want to sell it, they can sell it. If they want to replant and do something else at the time, who knows what's going to be. I can't foretell the future, but I'm going to just tread water the way it is. It's okay.